Hello everyone and welcome back to the Kukuli Bushcraft channel. So I'm on one of the Hetta trails. So the school is just behind me, that's where I'm starting from. And what we're on now is the illuminated ski tracks. As if you can see the big light post behind me. So this is hiking routes in the summer, skiing routes in the winter. It's all very accessible, both from the nature centre, which is a little museum over there, and also from behind the school. And there's a lot of different marked trails, and I don't really use them very often nowadays. I like to go off track, but when I first came here I explored all of these trails, and now I know them. I've got lots of new places to explore, but I thought I'd show you around and also have a look for any returning, migrating birds, see what plants are flowering now. So the snow's only been gone for a couple of weeks now, and now everything's all nice and green. So we've had really warm temperatures recently. The mosquitoes are back, which is a little bit early. Normally the start of June, they haven't quite come back yet, and we have just a couple of weeks of nice weather with no mosquitoes. Well, that's not happening this year. They're not too bad yet, but I think in another week or so they're going to start to get quite intense. The Labrador tea is starting to open up. So this plant, it was used as an ingredient in making beer here in the old days. Sorry about the camera shake. But yeah, it's used in North America for making tea, but in Europe it's generally recommended not to use it for that, because the variety we have here is a little bit more toxic. It can cause kidney failure, and there are lots of alternatives for making tea in the Finnish forest. I'll see if I can find you one of my favourites. I mean, of course, everybody knows about pine needle tea. We've got plenty of pine trees. We've come a little way off the track, and we've got a little hotel over there, Majatalo, and this used to be cultivated, which makes it botanically quite interesting. It means we have a lot of agricultural weeds, so it's a little bit different here. We've got things like I thought that was plantain. That's not plantain. Plantain would be typical. I'm not sure. Okay, that's goldenrod. We've got some nice stuff in flower. We've got I'm falling over Uni's lead now. We've got some globe flowers over there, which is a member of the buttercup family. Just opening up. We've also got some mallow over there. Also just about opening up. So cultivated land and disturbed land tends to be quite different to the forest, and you get a lot of species of plant that you get also further south, things like yarrow, and these plants have got lots of medicinal values very often, particularly yarrow. I've got videos about yarrow as if you're interested. And of course we've always got, in places like this, rosebay willow herb or fireweed. And this time of year I'll quite often pick these and fry them up in butter, just like asparagus. And this plant has got a lot of uses. I've also got videos about this one. It can be made into cordage. Uni, stop eating grass. You're black and white, but you're not a cow. Yeah, so you can make cordage out of this. You can make a really, really nice tea out of the flowers. Lots of other uses of this plant. It's very versatile. Uni, come on by. This is one of my favourites for making tea. This is common juniper. So you've got to be a little bit careful with this. It can have side effects. Yeah, ladies, as if you're pregnant or you're trying to become pregnant, really do avoid this plant. It does have medicinal value as well. I can't remember what it's supposed to treat and cure, but it's quite a healthy plant, but not in high doses. Also, of course, juniper berries are used in cooking quite a lot and in making gin. So, and also, if anybody wants a recommendation of gin to try, Napwe. Really nice finished gin. So this is more typical of the Lappish forest floor. We've got lots of lichens, in particular reindeer moss, and it can grow really thick in places. It has been eaten in the past, as if you boil it in... Jesus Christ, Uni. No! Uni. Okay, so this is take 6. Somebody's not cooperating. But this is more typical of the Lappish forest floor. We've got lots and lots of lichens, and in particular reindeer moss. Reindeer moss over here. So yeah, this has been eaten in the past. You can detoxify it. You can yeah, just basically soak it, cook it in water with wood ash, strain it, clean it. It's a lot of hassle. The way that the Sami used to do it is they just used to eat the reindeer stomach contents. In the winter it was the only vegetable matter that they had to eat. And yeah, it's the reindeer love it, but we can't eat it. It'll really upset your stomach as if you eat this stuff unprocessed. This is Arctic bramble. So yeah, a lot of you will be familiar with brambles, with blackberry bushes. No berries on these, and they don't grow any bigger than this. There's no thorns or spikes, but the leaves might look a little bit familiar. Yeah, so quite a common little plant in this part of the world. Now we're leaving this horrible road that is the illuminated skiing trail. So the signpost Luontokeskus is the nature centre, and Paattajärvi, that's a lovely spot. There's a little lean-to shelter. It's off limits at the moment because there's nesting peregrine falcons right next to the shelter. There's also Narpistojoki that's a little bit further away, and all of the trails are very well marked. So this is both the blue and the brown trail, which joins up with the green one over there. And yeah, here's the map. Okay, so we're here, and yeah, so we're going up here somewhere, and I like to kind of combine the blue 18-kilometre trail with the brown 9.51. So lovely viewpoint here. You'll have seen that on my videos if you're a subscriber. There's the nature centre, and there's a little place that I like to sneak off to that's off the trail over here as well. Sisankiyarvi is also really nice. Yeah, and there's the trail that goes all the way to Nakala. So that's about 25 kilometres. So there's a little open cabin on the way, which is supposed to be the most haunted building in Finland. I've slept there a few times. I've not noticed anything scary. But yeah. And these mosquitoes, yeah, I don't wear any kind of repellent this time of year at the start of the season because it's not that bad yet and I like to get bitten. The reason being is my body reacts, and then when I've been bitten quite a lot, my antibodies just give up and I stop reacting to them. So as if I get it over and done with while there's not many of them, then when we have a lot of them, then they don't bother me so much. So yeah, the more you get bitten, the less inflammation there is. So as if I get bitten a little bit at the start of the season, I find when the season really kicks off, it's really not as bad. They're not bad yet. You just wait. Okay, we're dropping into a kind of damp birchy valley. Birchy, that's a good adjective. I think there's a little bit of chagga there. Let's see. I've got one of those Vimble things. I've no idea why I didn't bring it with me today. Yeah, that's chagga. So, million uses for that thing. You'll know all about it if you follow my channel. I've not done enough on fire lighting with that. That's something I'm going to have to put right this summer. But yeah, I really like this kind of environment. We've got more birch trees than pine. And the birch trees don't tend to grow very big there. Sorry, here. But these are quite mature ones. And we've got some nice horse's hoof fungus over there. We've got these little violets here. We only actually see these for a couple of weeks in the start of the summer. I'm not sure as to exactly what species they are. But yeah, they're common and they're pretty little things. And all of the reindeer are going to be starting to head up to the fells now to avoid the mosquitoes. Me and Uni can't do the same. We've got to work in the in the lowlands. But as for natural mosquito repellents, yeah, so you can actually make something with the Labrador tea. I tried making a tincture with vodka of Labrador tea and yarrow. I found the Labrador tea worked a little bit and the yarrow didn't. Both of them are supposed to repel mosquitoes. But yeah, the price of the vodka compared to the price of mosquito repellents. So the best ones are birch tar and pine tar. I've got videos on making both. And you can also buy pine tar mosquito repellent in the shops. The well-known brand is Nordic Summer from, is it Wilmer's that makes it over in Sweden. There are other brands too. Uni, please don't pull me when I'm trying to film. Oh, what are you eating? Yeah, so the reindeer have left quite a lot of poo. And Uni thinks that's delightful. Yeah, so the best mosquito repellent I've found so far is Avon Skin So Soft, which I absolutely did not believe would work at all until I actually tried it. But it's really good. Yeah, and it's not, it's a beauty product, it's not mosquito repellent. Yeah, and as if you see me in the summer looking absolutely filthy, it's probably because my face is covered in pine tar. It's not just the mosquitoes that are active. Yeah, so we have a lot of these big wood ant nests here. Just like with trees, you tend to get the vegetation growth on the northern side. Out of the sun where it's nice and shady, all of the moss and lichen. And yeah, you can actually collect and eat the eggs. It's something that I don't really do, at least very often, because it's quite destructive. I'll maybe do it for the sake of a video one day sometime soon, on a sunny day. But the eggs are actually quite surprisingly nice. And the ants themselves, taste of vinegar. We've found the mosquito's last victim. It's quite a big one. So, as you can see, these trails, they're extremely well marked. So, as if you're ever coming to Hetta and you want to go for a walk in the forest, but you don't want to be concentrating too much on navigation, then these trails are perfect. So we've got lots of meadow sweet starting to grow here. No flowers on it yet, but this is an absolutely fantastic, useful plant for lots of things, including for a painkiller. It contains quite a lot of salicylic acid, salicin, just like the willow behind it. It's basically aspirin. So yeah, it's just got so many other uses as well, and it's been used for so many things in the past. Very, very important plant when it comes to ethnobotany. And what the hell is this? Okay, Uri, ajababa. Wow, I've come past this before, and I've not really looked at this tree. But that's a prunus. That's a member of the cherry family. I see it clearly now. It's got blossoms on, and you see the little flecks on the bark. Wow. And there's lots of it here. I bet that's been planted at some point in time. Wow, there's lots of it. Oh my god. What the hell's this? Is this... I'm not sure if it's all growing out of that. It looks to be. Looks to be suckers off that big one. So I wonder what was here in the old days. Probably something. Yeah, there's a red currant as well. Not sure if you can see that. Well, you can now. Wow. Wow. It looks like there's been a tornado here since last time I was here. That one's quite a big one, eh? But there's been lots of pine come down. Yeah. And by the way, as if anybody knows what species of prunus that was, if it was indeed a prunus, in the last bit of video. Please let me know, it'd be very interesting to know what we've got. But it's not something that we see around here, which makes me think it's not natural. I think somebody was living there at some point in time. There's been a three-toed woodpecker at this log. See the little peck marks, like little machine gun bursts. Very characteristic. Nice new boardwalk and some marsh marigolds. So this is a plant that always reminds me of back home. We have them back in England. They will have finished flowering a long time ago back in England. They're much later here. But yeah, the first one I've seen this summer. Really pretty plant. Not sure if it's got any uses, but nevertheless it's nice to look at. Okay, we've got a nice open spot here where we should have at least a little bit of a... Oh, you've got so many mosquitoes on you. So yeah, so the breeze should keep them off a little bit at least. We can have a little bit of a sit down, and then I think we're gonna head back. It looks like it's gonna rain, and I've also got quite a lot of stuff to do, including edit this video. And this little flower is the most important, I'd say, plant commercially of the area. So there's a lot of picking of the berries. This is cloudberry. You can also make a tea out of the leaves. Yeah, it can't be cultivated, so it has to be picked in the wild. It grows in places like this, and yeah, the University of Tromsø have actually done some really interesting experiments if somebody wants to look more into it. But yeah, can't be cultivated, has to be picked wild, and everybody's out with their families trying to earn a little bit of extra money in the cloudberry season. The berries are really go for quite good money, and it's a local delicacy. Struggled with that word then, Uni, I did. It really looks like it's about to rain. We've had thunderstorms the last few days. There's quite a lot more of them over there. You see the little white spots? Well everyone, it's home time, and the first thing I'm going to do when I get back is I'm going to cover my face and my hands with a salve that I make from yarrow, because I'm going to be quite itchy, I think, and that stuff, it really works at taking the itch down. And hopefully I've built up a little bit of tolerance to these creatures. Well, I have actually got a lot more videos about plants and their uses and things. I've got a playlist, plants and their uses, as if people are interested in that. It's not all about the gear. And yeah, please drop us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you all again soon for another Kukali Bushcraft video. Bye for now.